can my ex sense I'm over them? When I first heard this idea, I was sort of on board. And the idea is that as soon as you get over your ex, as soon as you stop wanting them back, and as soon as you truly let them go, that's the second they come back. And it's this belief that once you truly relinquish the hold that they have over you, and you just choose not to play the game anymore, that's exactly the time that they say, I miss them, and I think I'm going to reach out. And then you'll usually hear from them, and you'll say, what the hell? You waited until I was over you already. Now I kind of don't want you back. So does this actually exist? Well, the answer's sort of complicated. I'll explain. The amount of time that you spend being hung up on your ex, even if you don't believe me right now, is finite. I'm going to pull a number out of thin air. Let's just say it takes you 5 months to get over your ex, or 6 months, or a year. It doesn't matter. The number doesn't matter. The point is, the time is finite. In other words, the day of the breakup, and then the time it takes you to get over them is limited. It's not going to last forever. The time that it takes for them to reach out to you is, let's say for the rest of your life. From when you got over them to the rest of your life. And it's just this idea that the second you get over them, the second you no longer want them back, is the second they come back to you, because it develops a false sense of what to do next. Let's rush the process of healing. Let's rush it to the end. We need to get over them so that we can get them back. Well, first off, if you get over them and you no longer want them back, it's kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy, isn't it? You no longer want them back. So by the time they come back and you no longer want them back, how's that going to benefit you? I realize that it's almost like talking in circles here, but it's going to benefit you in that you are over them and you've placed your happiness back in yourself, which is great, and I'm proud of you for that. But if you don't want them back anymore, it's kind of a pointless victory because you realize you can have them now and you don't want them. So it's just food for thought. I'm not sure where this whole idea came from, but I'm here to tell you that it's not necessarily true, nor is it necessarily untrue. For some people, their exes reach out while they still want their ex back, and they get back into relationships. For other people, they never hear from their ex again, even when they're over them. For other people still, they get over their ex, and they hear soon after, or a couple of years after. It's just different. If you hear back from your ex around the time that you got over them, it's just a coincidence. Remember that people who are going through breakups, they have a horse in this race. They want there to be some sort of explanation as to how this works. Why is it that my ex reaches out as soon as I'm over them? Well, it's not true. Now, if your ex is in contact with you, wondering how you're doing, out of curiosity, and they reach out and see that you're kind of indifferent, kind of nonchalant, you don't care that they reached out, you're not mean, but nor are you particularly excited to hear from them, they sense a change, right? But that's based on social cues, on body language, on the sound of your voice. Those cues we can see, we can understand. But there's no change in the air that they can smell and realize that you are suddenly over them. There's no disturbance in the force. It's not how this works. It's pure coincidence. Why does it happen? Because people say, okay, my ex didn't reach out the 6 months I was still hooked on them, but they did reach out on the 8th month. See, they reached out right when I got over them. Well, it's relative. No, they didn't reach out the second you got over them. They reached out a couple of months later. Coincidence. Maybe they were going to reach out. Maybe they were never going to reach out. Maybe your ex wants you right now. Maybe your ex never wants you again. We don't know. We can't control that part of the scenario. But what we can control is that how do we end up? I can't tell you if your ex is going to reach out with complete 100% certainty. The likelihood is good. The numbers are on your side. But remember, a reach out is different than a reconciliation. And so what I say to you is that if we can control one part of this outcome, control it. What outcome is that? How do you end up? What happens with you? Are you a better version of yourself, or are you the version of yourself that got left in the dust? Just some food for thought. It's a new year. Maybe it should be a new you. That's all I had for today. If you found my video helpful, I'd be very grateful if you'd subscribe and hit like. Please leave a comment below and tell me what topics you want me to cover in the future. Additionally, if you'd like extra videos every week, private live streams with me, and free coaching giveaways, please visit my Patreon at patreon.com/thelovechat. Until next time.